Hello YouTube, my name is Remy T and welcome back to my channel. And on today we will be speaking about if a man really loves you, they will not put you in harm's way. Before I get into it, I just want to ask that you like, subscribe, and comment. Now on today I will be speaking on if a man really cares for you, they will not put you in harm's way. And I've been through trials and tribulations in my life where, my life has been put in harm's way. And so that's the reason as to why I know that if someone really loves you or cares for you, they would never put you in harm's way. I look back on whenever I was in high school and I was dating this guy in high school, and, he wound up having a gun in my car on school campus. And back at that time, my mom and dad, they both were, they had just split up, and we were in the process of moving out of my childhood home. And at that time, the person that I was dating, they had a job where their life was put in harm's way, which caused him to need to have a gun to protect themselves. Not saying that it was right for him to be a child and to be walking around with a gun, but he had a gun on school campus. And how they knew that it was a gun on campus was he wound up threatening somebody that he was going to shoot them. And so there was a fight that broke out at school, and long story short, the word had got out that it was a gun on school campus. So I remember I was in high school in like 6th or 7th period, and I remember that somebody had called me on the intercom to come to the principal's office, and I was nervous, and I had already knew the gun was in my car, but based on the different laws or whatever, I tried to postpone it, or because they gave us two options. They gave us the option on if, we could walk down there, you could just show us the weapon, or we'll bring a police officer and they can open the car. So me being me, I just wanted to stall it a little bit. So I was like, I'll just wait for the police to get there. And when the police got there, he asked me one more time. He was like, if it's a gun in the car, you can just go ahead and tell us it's a gun in the car. And I remember that we had walked down to the car, and I'm looking at my ex, who is now deceased, and I remember he just broke down and started crying. And I remember that they unlocked the car, and in my car they found $300, they found a gun, they found weed, and they found pills on school campus. And I just knew I was going to jail because it was in my car. It wasn't in my ex's car, it was in my car. So they wound up opening the car. They wound up getting the weed and the gun out of the car. And then we walked back to the school principal's office. And that's when they gave us the ultimatum. It was like either my ex says his, or I say it's mine, or if nobody says it's either, they taking everybody to jail. So at that moment, my ex looked at me, I looked at him, and he really did wind up admitting that it was his gun. And I remember that it was like he went straight to jail. And it was a loaded gun too on school campus. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was in the same year as the Virginia Tech school. Virginia Tech school shooting. I want to say it was in 2007. But anyway, yeah, it was a shooting that happened around the time when he had went to jail, and we was in our senior year. And so He went to jail, and I remember I had called his mom and his dad to let them know that he was in jail. And it was just crazy. It was just a crazy situation, because I remember I don't even remember exactly how much his bail was, but I know that his parents had wound up paying his bail out of pocket, because they knew that whenever they went back to court, they would get their money back. And long story short, he wound up getting adjudicated probation. And then he got expelled from school. And it was just a crazy situation. But the moral to the story of this situation is, if somebody really loves and really cares for you, they're never ever gonna put you in harm's way at all. Like, if anything else, they want to keep you safe. And if they're mixed up with anything in the street, they'll take their own responsibility, and they'll take whatever that comes with. If and when a man starts involving a woman in their dirty dealings in the street, I wouldn't say that person really cares for you and loves you, because biblically speaking, a man wants to protect the woman that they're with, and they want to make sure that their woman feels safe with them, and you don't have to feel like you always got to look over your back. There's been so many different situations in my life that I personally have been through, where my life was put in harm's way. I've been in situations where I've been pulled over, with drugs and guns in the car. I've been in situations where I was dating someone and a whole shooting took place. Like, any man that really loves you, they're not going to put you in harm's way. And if you have to look over your shoulder, or you feel any sense of that you don't feel safe, then you shouldn't put yourself in those positions anyway. I just feel like, us as women, sometimes we just want to hang, and we don't even always know or really comprehend the severity in us putting our lives in harm's way. I knew someone personally, and their child was in the car with a dude in the middle of them doing dirty work, and they shot the car up and killed her instantly. And I just personally feel like, if somebody really cares for you and really loves you, they're not gonna put your life in harm's way in no form or fashion way. And they're not even gonna allow you to be in the middle of what they got going on anyway, because they know that if they in the street, they know what that comes with. I see certain women that talk about the ride or die mentality and all that. And why do we have to be valued at the price of, we got to put ourselves in harm's way to protect the man, when it should be the other way around? The woman shouldn't be the protector, the man should be the protector. So if and when you have to start protecting your man, me personally, I feel like the roles is switched, and that's not a good situation. I know there may be people that disagree with me, and that's fine, that's okay. That's my stance on it, because I've been in that situation. I've been in unsafe situations, and like I said before, if they love you and they care for you, they're not going to put you in harm's way. You're not going to be in a position where you have to look over your back all the time. Like, that's an unhealthy way to live, personally.